Who will believe my verse in time to come? If it were filled with your most high deserts, though yet heaven knows it is, but as a tomb which hides your life and shows not half your parts. If I could write the beauty of your eyes, and in fresh numbers number all your graces, the age to come would say, this poet lies. Such heavenly touches never touched earthly faces. So should my papers, yellowed with their age, be scorned, like old men of less truth than tongue. And your true rights be termed as poets' rage, and stretched meter of an antique song. But were some child of yours alive that time, you should live twice in it and in my rhyme. The bird, the poet of all ages, apparently not sure of the literary prowess of his verses, yearns to be remembered through the ages, to live on through his works, to grant immortality to his muse, and to protect his poetry from the clutches of oblivion, and his yearnings resonate in our ears after centuries of his time. Such is the magic of literature, of words and verses, of ideas and ideals, that it survives through the tide of time to tell the tales over and over again. Living on through his work, to be read and appreciated through the ages, is any literator's dream of a lifetime. The bibliophiles all over the world respond to this yearning, not only for the sake of the poet, the novelist, or the storyteller, but for their own cause, to enrich their minds and senses, to derive pure joy and ecstasy from the literary works of all ages. The rapture in the meter of the verses, the magic of alliteration, the bliss in onomatopoeia, and the cheeky humor in double-entendre puns all fills the reader with a sense of pure satisfaction and inspires him to delve deep into the enigmatic world of words and rhythm, prepares him for a journey into the realm where the joys of creating magic out of words encumbers all his being. And then it's only words, and words are all he has to steal his way into the hearts of countless of his readers and stay there forever. It is a similar call that drove the bibliophiles of our center to form a group of literarians to discuss, debate, and ponder over the great art of writing, to fuel the inspiration, to create a literary heaven for the souls eager to cast their spells by the pen wand. As Mr. Robert Frost would have it in a poem, the sentencing goes blithely on its way and takes the playfully objected rhyme as surely as it takes the stroke and time in having its undeviable say. The literary group found its humble beginning in the events that culminated in the publishing of the first ever student newsletter ScipiX which came out as a bulletin of the SNB Photography Club. This was a special issue which covered the 100th session of the Indian Science Congress in January 2013, hosted by our center along with other institutes in Kolkata. Since then, there has been no dearth of activity on part of the literary group in the form of informal meetings, discussions, debates among the students, and hence now we intend to come up with another edition of the ScipiX to be published in the form of a general magazine. With the formal pronouncement of the Bose Center Recreation Club, the time seems ripe to have another attempt at publishing the first ever general students magazine at the center, since there is hardly any dearth of students involved in various literary and other pursuits suitable for a general magazine. Thus, we envisage the prospect of a general magazine as a beacon light of hope for the literary group in the coming days of the club. Let us have a quick glance at the various aspects of the magazine that we propose to come up with. As all magazines do, we shall also have an editorial section where the views of the general editor of the magazine shall be expressed. We propose to have a section for the cover story of each issue, which shall include a few articles based on the theme of the cover story that is decided for each issue of the magazine. The rest of the magazine shall be open to a wider range of creative pursuits by the members, works of fiction, including stories, plays, poetry, and non-fiction critical articles on general subjects of interests are an integral part of the magazine. Even novellas in successive continuation may be included. Puzzles, crosswords, and other wordplay may add to the flavor of our magazine to develop one's idiomatic taste buds. However, no magazine is complete without illustrations and picture. This indeed opens the door for the magazine to have a plethora of artistic pursuits to enrich the aesthetic mind, like prints of paintings, sketches, photography, documenting the various aspects of our society and portraying life in general. Cartoons, comics, caricatures are also welcome to tickle our funny bones. Last but not the least, there is no need to mention that art has no bounds, and hence the domain of contents can never be confined to constrained radii. Well, this is the edge of virtual publishing, and we intend to publish our own version of e-magazine this BoseFest, as ScipiX was inaugurated during BoseFest held previous year. We intend not to break our record and history to repeat itself as it always does. We invite contributions from all the members of the SNB fraternity for the various sections of the magazine as described. Here, we would like to add that this year marks the centenary of the great filmmaker Charlie Chaplin making his on-screen appearance. The world saw this great legend for the first time as he made his debut as an actor in the film Making a Living by Max Sennett of Keystone Pictures. This one-reel comedy flick, made when Hollywood was still in its cradle, was released on the 2nd of February in the year 1914. It is a fortunate coincidence that the end of this year's BoseFest shall mark the beginning for the centenary of Chaplin's appearance on the silver screen. As our tribute to the great maestro of films of all time, we would like to dedicate the cover story of this particular issue that will be inaugurated on the very eve of the centenary to commemorate the debut of the great director. May we all put forth our best efforts to make this literary venture a success.